Now, here's one of the other main ways to train Lachesis. Basically, get her to heal whenever possible. Even if it's only 1 HP. She really, really, really needs the experience. And you might want to prioritize healing people with Lachesis first, because, yeah, she needs the experience, as I've said before. And now the imminent danger is past, but just getting into position for the counterattack on the enemy castle. I'm going to, again, cut out some of this because, yeah, it's not very particularly interesting, but I will say, though, if you are going for that village item, you will need to rush through this, probably with just Sigurd and Kuan, but I don't like to do that. I prefer to use everyone, so... Everyone does have their uses, so it's good to have them all together in one place. Yeah, now Lachesis' Paladin Guardians, who I really hate, basically, they'll try and stand next to her whenever possible, but if there's an enemy nearby, they'll prioritize charging in and usually getting themselves killed. This can get really annoying, particularly because you'll want Lachesis to be able to take advantage of any weakened enemies, so you'll need her rather close to the action. But it's also kind of a good thing, because it lets Lachesis get some free experience by healing the Paladins, as you'll see her do here. Slowly getting into position. I want my on-foot characters, particularly Holland, because I haven't really got to use him yet, to get some of the action too. And it's also important Azel gets there, even though he has this ridiculously slow movement. But that is going to change, because when Azel promotes, which actually won't be for a while, I think it's chapter 4 when I do that. Anyway, when Azel promotes, he'll become mounted, so movement won't be an issue for him. And they've already reached the villages, which is annoying, but there's nothing you can do about it until you've dealt with this castle. Yeah, now you need to bait those guys out using their attack range, but there are a couple of ballistas up there. This is actually the first time you're seeing ballistas. But, thankfully in this game, they're pretty pathetic. They hardly ever hit, and they have really crappy attack power, and once you actually get to them, they die so easily it's not funny. They're actually very good experience for Dew. That pretty much sums up how pathetic their defense is. Yeah, cutting out some more stuff here, but remember to only get on the edge of their attack range. That'll lure the whole group out, but you'll only risk counterattacks from a couple of them. And interestingly, this is actually probably the last time in my playthrough I actually use Noish and Alec for something. Noish can actually become quite decent if you give him Pursuit Ring and some good weapons, but, well, I got massively RNG screwed with him, so I've sort of given up on him, and Alec's generally inferior to other mounted Pursuit users, one of which we'll be getting a bit later in the chapter. Don't know what I'm doing with Deirdre. She's pretty useless in this fight. Ah, stupid NPC paladins. Oh, come on, is even one critical too much to ask? This is actually the first time... There are some very different enemies in this chapter compared to the ones you've been fighting previously. There's now a lot of lance users, so sword users actually have quite a bit of a disadvantage. And you'll see a lot of armoured enemies. I mean, a lot of armoured enemies in this chapter. And they have a variety of weapons. I need to watch out for that annoying priest. Because he can heal, which is... yeah, very annoying. And that boss is a general with a silver lance. So, like all bosses with silver weapons, just be careful around him. Now that we've lured these guys, I think it's time to finish them off. I like to weaken them a little bit with some hit and run attacks. And now Alec can go back and get healed by Lachesis for some cheap experience. I'm pretty sure I was hoping for a critical here, but no. As you can see, be sure to equip lances on your knights here, otherwise you'll have some problems. I spy with mindful eye something beginning with easy experience points. But before that, I'll just use Holland on this guy. Yeah, even though he gets hit quite often by their lances, Holland's Luna is very, very effective against these guys, obviously. Because ignoring their defense, you'll cause quite a bit more damage. And as I like to do with the severely weakened enemies, attack them with a ranged user. And I generally prioritise getting Midale the easy experience because, simply because Jamilcar, while Jamilcar also benefits from it, Jamilcar has a much easier time in the arena. I mean, much easier. He completely destroys the arena. And something you might have seen there, the give option just appeared when I put Midale next to Edain. Non-thief characters can give all their gold to someone else, but only if they're in love with them, which means that Edain and Midale are officially paired now. That was pretty quick. And yeah, most of the predestined pairings in this game are pretty fast. I've just got Lachesis to go into the arena a bit there. You can get to access the arena from allied castles too. And here's something interesting. Dew actually has a conversation with Lachesis here. Another one of his, oh, I just found this lying on the ground over there, heh 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 moments. And so the item you get out of that is a Thief Sword, which, as you might guess from its name, gives you gold every time you hit an enemy with it, which can be useful in quite a few situations. Unfortunately, Lachesis really doesn't get any use out of it, particularly at this point. So I find it's best to sell to someone else. Well, that guy hardly did any damage at all. Against a supposedly defensively fragile character, too. Even though Sigurd is, you know, pretty overpowered at this point, try not to let him get attacked by too many enemies, because He will die if you charge him right into the middle of these guys. Oh, the axe guy attacks Holland. That's pretty stupid. Yeah, so you'll see just how dangerous Holland's Lunar is against these guys. Holland is basically Ira, but with more emphasis on power than speed. He's a lot like the mercenary class compared to the Myrmidon class. Stop burning down those villages when I can't get to you. Don't worry, we'll get our revenge on those guys shortly.